I had one uncle, the only person in our family that ever made like six figures, except my dad. My dad made six figures at one point, but selling cocaine. So, but like legally, my uncle was a car salesman. And I remember him telling me, I was sleeping on a couch and I was depressed. I had read this Tony Robbins book, Awaken the Giant Within. And he had this,
it's a great book.
Yeah, it's a great book. My mom gave it to me because I was like depressed. She's like, read this. And I remember thinking, how's this going to help me? And the one sentence was, when you succeed, you party. But when you fail, you ponder. And all greatness comes out of failure because it makes you rethink your life. So I was like, that's true. So I was smart enough. I had mentors on the farm. The Amish like mentors too. They stop in 8th grade. So you learn from other people. So I was like, who's the number one mentor I knew that knew how to make money in the modern world? Only person was my Uncle Bill. So I called him. I'm like, Uncle Bill, I'm stuck. I'm failing. I'm pondering. I got no money. I got less than $50. I'm basically homeless in a mobile home. He goes, 2 ways you can always make money, Ty. Sell cars or sell insurance. And I was like, I don't want to sell cars, because he had sold cars and he told me it was a depressing life where you're at like 16 hours a day at the. So I went in the phone book, and I knew that a phone book, like, to get the full page thing was like $50,000. I don't know how I knew that. And I just flipped through and I found first insurance person that had a full page ad. It was a guy named Mike Stainback. And I go, I'm going to call this guy. So I called him and I pretended like I needed insurance. I kind of did too, so it wasn't a total lie. Yeah. So I called, I set up appointment. We had this secretary, Kathy, and I showed up. And my uncle's like, make sure you like wear a suit. I don't have a suit. I went to a thrift store. I remember. I wish I had a picture of it. I have it somewhere. It had shoulder pads. It was the only one at the thrift store. It was like a woman's suit. It was like The Office, where I don't know, but it had shoulder pads. So I bought that thing. It was like $6. But I showed up at that office of Mike Stainback, and I was like, Kathy, and I got it was a blue pinstripe suit, I think. And I go in the back, and Mike had this big mustache. And I was like, hey, Mike, I want to tell you, I'm interested in insurance. I don't have a lot of money, but I know you got a full page ad here. So you're probably the richest guy I've ever met. And I said, if you will teach me what you know about making money, I'll work for you for free. And I remember he was this, I don't know, he had this big mustache. He looked like a movie star guy. And he was, Tom Selleck. He was sitting on the side, and he like turned to me and he was like, I've been looking for someone like you for 20 years. No. He goes, you got the right attitude. He goes, show up in the morning and I'll give you an office. So I was like, well, yeah. So I left, came back the next day. I'm expecting like an office. And he had taken a closet where he had a file cabinet, and he had stuffed a little teeny place to put my computer. And I remember going in there, it was so small. I had a chair, you try to lean back, you hit the wall. It was like, it was probably, it was a closet. And I started cold calling. That's why I tell people, if you study billionaires, wealthy people, 80% of them started in sales.
Yep.
So
that's how I started.
That's how you started.
Sales. I hated cold calling and door knocking. Yeah. It was my least favorite, but Craigslist worked.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like Muhammad Ali said with sit-ups. He goes, I don't count them till they start to burn. But that's why he was the king. Like, he did sit-ups a lot. People don't like to do sit-ups. So cold calling is like sit-ups. You don't like to do it, but if you do it, it trains you. So in the first week, I opened a deal that was like 100,000 of commissions. And Mike was in shock because he had promised me like 30% of the commission. And I was like, I'm going to make 30 grand and all this. So I literally overnight, I started to make a little bit of money, like 8-10 grand a month, which was like that's infinity
insane.
For me.
That's not a little bit of money.
That's
I was just like early 20s, man.
That's insane. I was like, really good money.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was crazy, so I started to think, because he gave me this cold call list, but I called through it and then I was done. So I was on a laptop in that little room, and an ad came up. It was like a Yahoo ad. It might have been, I don't think it was Google, but it was a picture of this dude on a Hawaiian beach, I remember. And the caption said, how I made $28,000 laying on the beach today. And I clicked it, and it was an ad for like a guru. And I remember it was probably in the first week, I hadn't actually received any commission. So I had like $300-400 in my bank account. It was $300 to buy his system. His name was Corey Rudel. Sadly, the guy died in '08. He had all these Porsches and stuff, and he crashed.
Oh, man.
I always thought about when I made money and got all these cars, I'm like, don't drive too fast, man. Corey Rue. I always wanted to thank the dude because I got a 3-ring binders before YouTube.
Yeah.
For $300 sent to me. And the only thing I remember from it is there's something new called Google Ads. Try it. So I built an ad advertising this Mike Steinbach's kind of, by then we were doing some financial stuff like annuities and mutual funds. And I put an ad up and instantly leads started to pour in. I got good at that. And I ended up working at GE. This Mike guy got me working as a broker for GE, which at the time was the biggest company in the world, GE Capital. And so I started like a click on Google Ads at the beginning. Okay.
Was this 2004?
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah.
Even.
Wow.
Okay. A click on Google Ads was roughly 20 cents. Okay. And I would get a lead for like $15 and I could close 1 out of 10 and my average commission was $1,500.
Wow.
Right now, those clicks are $20 a piece. So that's why I always tell people, find the new platform, get in early.